Is a different body a mistake of nature, or a symbol of unstoppable will? Some people are born defying limits, rewriting what we believe is possible through pure determination. They don't seek pity, they challenge the boundaries of your thinking. Are you ready to face truths rarely revealed? If these heroes inspire you, comment 1. If you still doubt, comment 0. Like and subscribe now, because the journey to discover the world's most unbreakable spirits begins right here. In the sunlit state of Florida lives an extraordinary young woman named Katie Renfro, a girl whose smile can soften even the hardest hearts. She came into the world under unexpected circumstances, as a rare biological condition reshaped the usual expectations of physical development. Despite constant tremors and speech limited by physical challenges, Katie meets the world with unfiltered enthusiasm. She does not regard her differences as shortcomings. Instead, she has turned them into a mark of individuality where the delight of living thrives in spite of nature's toughest trials. Confronted with the many opinions of the online world, her mother Charlotte became a shield of steel guarding her daughter with unwavering love. She firmly declared that Katie was not a spectacle for public judgment, but a living reminder of human dignity and the right to respect. Is beauty truly found in perfect symmetry or in the bravery to face one's destiny? Katie and her resilient mother have stood against prejudice to defend the purest values of worth and compassion. If you believe a smile can rise above any hardship, share your support. If you are still defining perfection, reflect again. Follow and subscribe to discover more inspiring stories that are reshaping our world. Madison stands as a shining symbol of resilience. Although life gave her a complex physical appearance shaped by rare vascular conditions, she meets the world with bold confidence and endless compassion. Instead of retreating from questioning glances, she lets her smile challenge narrow ideals of beauty. Madison reminds us of a powerful truth: nature may influence how we look, but a person's true worth glows through their bravery and the depth of their spirit. In the quiet state of Idaho, a remarkable new story has unfolded, challenging the familiar rules of nature. Two lives joined together from their very physical beginnings have formed one extraordinary and mysterious being. At first, limited medical expectations could only hope for survival beyond a fragile 24-hour window. Yet, as each hour passed and the limits once feared were left behind, an incredible journey truly began, turning what seemed impossible into a powerful story of life. Beyond a simple biological bond, this is a true perfect symbiosis where heartbeats no longer recognize separation. Within a shared physical system, they have learned to align each breath and intention, turning uncertain odds into steady balance. Rather than treating their condition as a restriction, they have made their connection a shared source of strength, where one person's power lifts the other's dreams. They are not striving to divide. They are reshaping the meaning of completeness within one unified life. This story goes far beyond numbers and clinical facts. It offers a powerful lesson about faith and the endurance of the human spirit. It shows us that even when circumstances seem like inevitable dead ends, life can still carve out its own determined path. Through their journey, the world witnesses a lasting truth: the only real limits are those created in the mind. When the courage to rise above doubt prevails, every second of life becomes a rare gift, shining light on even the hardest roads ahead. In a distant village, Runa Begum's life once seemed like a harsh twist of fate, as a rare medical condition placed intense pressure on her small body. A single photograph unexpectedly awakened global attention, turning her private struggle into a wave of compassion that crossed borders. She was no longer just a medical case. but a symbol of vulnerability calling for care. That shared concern opened doors to treatment, brought scientific help to ease her condition, and restored hope to her family and community. Though Runa's life ended far too soon, the meaning of her story continues to endure. She left behind more than memories. She offered lasting proof that compassion can rise above distance, language, and circumstance. Her journey became a powerful reminder of what community truly means, as strangers around the world united to support one fragile child. Runa teaches us that even in the hardest moments, human kindness can cross every boundary and bring comfort where it is needed most. Libby Huffer lives with neurofibromatosis type 1, a disorder that causes countless small tumors to form across her skin, marking her body and face like a living map. After enduring harsh judgment and discrimination, she chose to share her story publicly to promote awareness and raise support. She refers to the tumors as her badges of survival. Libby shows that a woman's worth is not measured by flawless skin, but by the strength she carries through every challenge life brings. In Joe's world, every unexpected impact leaves not wounds, but lasting imprints of permanence. He lives with a rare biological condition in which his body stages a severe transformation, turning soft, flexible tissue into rigid bone-like structures. Instead of moving freely, Joe slowly becomes like a living statue reflecting time's stillness within his own flesh. He does not disguise his hardship with romantic illusions. Instead, he meets it with remarkable calm, treating each new day as another entry in his record of endurance. Joe's story is not a polished tale of miracles, but a testament to extraordinary courage in the face of nature's constraints. Within the isolation of a body gradually losing movement, he discovers freedom in his thoughts, a space untouched by physical limits. Joe shows us that true strength is found not in rewriting fate, but in bravely embracing and living alongside it. His journey becomes a powerful lesson about the meaning of life, where every breath is a triumph, and each moment of existence stands as a masterpiece of resilience and empathy. In a world driven by speed and constant motion, Stephen stands as a quiet yet powerful presence in life's symphony. Living with a rare biological condition that slowly diminishes his muscle movement, his body becomes a sanctuary of stillness. As physical motion narrows to the smallest gestures of his fingers, another realm unfolds, one where progress is measured not in steps taken, but in the reach of the mind. Within that deep silence, Stephen discovers how to hear life's faintest rhythms, the subtle echoes that hurried souls so often miss. Behind that calm exterior lives a vast and vibrant inner world where ideas are never confined by physical limits. Stephen's deepest struggle was not bodily pain, but the invisible wall created by social distance and misunderstanding. While many focused only on what could be seen and measured, he quietly built meaningful intellectual connections, proving that the human mind is inherently free and able to cross any boundary in pursuit of discovery. He turned every thought into an expedition, a place where space and time could no longer restrain his determination to transcend. Stephen did not seek sympathy or hollow reassurance. He longed for understanding and an equal place within the current of humanity. He stands as living proof that a person's worth is not measured by physical mobility, but by the depth of their authentic presence. Through Stephen's perspective, we come to see that every individual is a distinct piece of the greater whole, and that differences are not nature's mistakes, but invitations for the world to grow in compassion and acceptance. The bonds he formed required no elaborate language. They arose from a quiet resonance between hearts that truly honored human dignity. Stephen's story became a meaningful lesson about the essence of life. We are sustained not by our muscles, but by our spirit. He stood like a lighthouse, casting light into the shadowed spaces of prejudice and reminding us that genuine connection is found in our ability to sense each other's heartbeat and shared thoughts. Stephen showed us how to value silence so we could hear the powerful echo of a will that refuses to surrender to circumstance. The radiance of his determination proves that even when the body remains still, the human spirit can send out ripples strong enough to reshape the world around it. When a skin condition appeared at the age of 9, Shirley chose a different path toward survival. Rather than allowing her circumstances to shape her identity, she reinvented herself as a living piece of art. Through her distinctive tragic doll aesthetic, Shirley transformed her physical differences into defining marks of individuality. She refused to remain a target of judgment. Instead, she took ownership of her narrative. Shirley proved that creativity can be the most powerful way to mend the fractures left by fate. In 2019, an elderly farmer in India named Shyamlal Yadav drew widespread attention for an unusual growth rising from his scalp. Medically, it was an extreme buildup of keratin, the protein responsible for forming hair and other hardened tissues in the body. Though it looked almost mythical, as if taken from folklore, it was a documented biological condition. Following a successful surgical procedure, Yadav's experience was recorded as an important medical case. His story has since contributed valuable insight, helping doctors better understand the remarkable and sometimes difficult changes the human body can undergo over time. Jabari came into this world like a delicate seed, without the natural armor most of us rarely think about. In the opening chapters of his life, every breath and every touch from his surroundings became a demanding trial where the line between survival and loss felt impossibly thin. Rather than being sheltered by ordinary protection, he faced the world's impact head-on with a pure yet remarkably resilient spirit. His life is more than a story of endurance. It is a path toward reclaiming wholeness from the flaws of circumstance, where each moment of calm is earned through a strength far beyond his years. Today, that little warrior is no longer defined by fragility, but stands as a shining symbol of where medical progress meets compassionate care. Through the advances of modern science and the unwavering devotion of those who love him, Jabari continues to shape his story with curiosity and genuine joy. He is living evidence that when human knowledge works alongside deep empathy, what once seemed impossible can become reality. Jabari's life reminds us that no obstacle is final when hearts are willing to kindle hope for what lies ahead. Carly Finley has a rare skin condition that makes her appearance uniquely her own. Instead of hiding or seeking sympathy, she confidently challenges society's narrow beauty standards. She does not see her condition as something to fix, but as a meaningful part of her identity. By embracing her difference, Carly shows that true confidence comes from self-acceptance and that everyone has the right to stand out in their own way. In her memoir, Say Hello, Carly begins an honest and compassionate conversation with the world. She doesn't seek pity. Instead, she invites others to meet her with respect and openness. By encouraging simple greetings over uncomfortable silence, she works to dismantle the invisible walls created by assumptions. Her book is more than a personal account. It's a reminder that real connection starts when we look beyond appearance and recognize the human being within. Carly Finley's journey shows how hardship can be transformed into a meaningful purpose, creating understanding. She reminds us that differences are not obstacles, but opportunities to value the richness of human diversity. Through her perspective, what some call imperfections become chances to grow in empathy and broaden our experience. Carly speaks not only for herself, but for a future where every difference is met with respect, kindness, and acceptance. Unlike those marked by circumstance, Elaine Davidson intentionally turned her body into a living artwork. Adorned with thousands of piercings, she became a world record holder for her extraordinary personal style. For Elaine, each piece of jewelry represents more than decoration. It reflects a story of self-expression and freedom. Unbothered by criticism or curious stares, she believes the body is a canvas, and every person has the right to shape their own design. Through her bold choices, Elaine encourages others to live honestly and unapologetically without seeking society's approval. Jackson Buell came into the world defying every expectation placed upon him. Born with a rare condition that shaped his body in uncommon ways, doctors predicted his life would be brief, like a quick flash across the sky. Yet through remarkable resilience, Jackson turned those forecasts into years filled with meaning and presence. He did more than survive. He reshaped the idea of strength, proving that life is not defined by physical perfection, but by the power of determination and love. Known as Jackson Strong, each day of his life became a reminder of the quiet connection between emotion and instinct. Though traditional communication was limited, Jackson answered the world with bright smiles, tender reactions, and a deep awareness of the love surrounding him. His simple yet powerful expressions offered an important insight: the human spirit is not confined by physical limits, but grows through the unseen bonds shared between loving hearts. When Jackson's journey ended in 2020, many did not see only sorrow, but the closing of a powerful story shaped by unconditional love. The legacy this little warrior left behind continues to inspire families facing similar struggles. He showed that a person's greatest impact lies in their ability to awaken compassion and kindness in others. Jackson's life remains a lasting testament to faith, reminding us to treasure every heartbeat and the quiet strength of simply being present. Tim Mason is a powerful example of rising above adversity. Born with physical challenges linked to a historic nuclear disaster and later placed in an orphanage, he refused to let his past define him. Known as 1L Tim, he trains hard, faces judgment with confidence, and lives with relentless optimism. His life proves that real strength comes not from the body, but from the will to rebuild yourself every day. Hailing from Brazil, Claudio possesses a physique that defies conventional norms, where his joints create a challenging biological map, with his head oriented at a completely different angle. According to conventional physics, his journey should have been confined within the narrow limits of stillness. Yet Claudio has proven a profound educational truth. A person's vision is not determined by the focal point of their eyes, but by the breadth and freedom of their mind. Instead of accepting a reversed reality, he trained himself to transform physical adversity into a unique ability, demonstrating that the human will can adapt and thrive in any harsh circumstance. Refusing to simply survive, Claudio rose to intellectual success, earning a university degree and inspiring millions. He sees the world through a different lens, where physical limits fade before inner strength. As a motivational speaker, he uses his life to challenge assumptions about disability and potential. Claudio proves that when we change our mindset and persist with courage, we unlock the freedom to shape our own future. Tessa was born with a rare difference: she has no sense of smell. While others experience the world through fragrance and scent, her reality is shaped mainly by sight and touch. Yet this absence has never made her life dull. Instead, it has deepened her awareness in other ways, allowing her to experience joy with clarity and intention. Tessa reminds us that life's richness is not about having every ability, but about embracing the world fully with what we do have. Tessa's journey also highlights the promise of modern medicine, as advanced 3D printing technology helps restore delicate structures once shaped only by nature. Throughout each careful stage of treatment, she kept the bright innocence in her eyes, turning clinical spaces into places of renewed hope. Tessa is more than a rare medical case. She represents life's ability to flourish even in imperfect conditions. Her story carries a clear message: when human determination joins with innovation, challenges can become the starting point for strength, joy, and possibility. Deepak Paswan was born with a rare condition that gave him additional limbs, shaping a life marked by visible difference. In a community where such conditions can be misunderstood or surrounded by superstition, he has had to face curiosity and prejudice from an early age. His story is not only about an unusual medical case, but about a child learning to endure and find strength amid the difficult circumstances life placed before him. The turning point arrived when modern medicine stepped in, beginning a complex, reconstructive process to give Deepak greater mobility and independence. The surgery eased his physical challenges and opened the path to a more typical childhood. His journey shows that when medical skill is guided by compassion, even the most difficult conditions can lead to new beginnings and renewed hope. Evita, a young woman from Malaysia, has skin covered in thousands of natural pigment spots, giving her a striking and uncommon appearance. At times, harsh comments from others shook her confidence and tried to turn her uniqueness into a flaw. But instead of hiding, she chose to step forward and challenge rigid beauty standards. Evita began to see her marks not as imperfections, but as scattered stars, shaping a bold identity built on self-acceptance and pride. Evita's path in the pageant world became more than a contest. It was a quiet shift in how beauty is defined today. She showed that every person is a one-of-a-kind creation, and that true beauty comes from authenticity, not sameness. Through her example, she sends a clear message about self-worth. No cruel remark can dim the light within. Evita stands as a symbol of confidence and resilience, encouraging others to embrace the very traits that make them different and unforgettable. Sam Burns was born with a rare condition that caused his body to age rapidly, making him face the effects of old age while still young. The contrast between his appearance and his years was striking, yet he refused to let it define his future. Instead of focusing on limitations, Sam chose to live with energy, purpose, and optimism. He showed the world that life's value is not measured by its length, but by the positive impact one leaves behind. Through his reflections on how to live a happy life, Sam became a voice of resilience for people facing their own struggles. He taught that happiness is not rooted in a perfect body, but in accepting reality and choosing to make a positive difference. Though nature may limit physical strength, it cannot overpower a heart filled with purpose and hope. Sam Burns remains a lasting symbol of inner strength, reminding us that the brightest light comes from within, and it cannot be dimmed by time. Turia Pitt was once a rising marathon runner until a devastating wildfire changed her life forever. Caught in the disaster, she suffered severe burns that led to years of surgeries and intense rehabilitation. In an instant, the future she had imagined and the world's narrow standards of beauty seemed to vanish. Yet within the hardship and pain, a quiet strength began to grow, laying the foundation for an extraordinary comeback. Instead of withdrawing from the world, Turia faced her new reality with fierce determination, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. She fought her way back to strength and went on to compete in some of the world's toughest endurance events, demanding both physical grit and mental resilience. Every mile she completed became more than a race. It was proof that the human spirit can rise above even the deepest scars. Turia turned her wounds into symbols of courage, standing as a powerful example of unbreakable resolve. Turia Pitt's journey delivers a powerful lesson about human worth. She proves that while the body can be altered by tragedy, inner strength cannot be destroyed. Real beauty comes from resilience, self-acceptance, and the drive to keep moving forward. Turia reminds us that true freedom begins when we stop defining ourselves by appearance and start living from the courage within. Fatima lives with a rare condition that makes her skin extremely sensitive to sunlight, for her daytime requires careful protection rather than carefree activity. Her world comes alive after sunset, when the heat and glare fade into the calm of night. Instead of seeing this as limitation, she has embraced it as a different way of living, finding beauty in quiet streets, moonlight, and the soft glow of stars. In this rhythm, Fatima has created a life that is both unique and deeply meaningful. When she steps outside wearing her protective mask, Fatima does not feel restricted. She sees it as a sign of strength and self-care. Her journey reminds us to appreciate the simple blessings we often overlook in our busy lives. Through her perspective, we learn that life's true value is not about standing in the brightest light, but about keeping hope alive and nurturing warmth within, no matter the circumstances. In a rural village in India, Shaili Kumari lives with Crouzon syndrome, a condition that causes the bones of the skull to fuse too early and pushes her eyes forward. Despite curious looks from others, she holds on to her innocence and love of learning. Her life reflects a quiet strength. Shaili faces the world not with bitterness, but with hope, believing that one day medical care can improve her condition. She shows that a child's spirit can be stronger than any physical difference. Sultan Kozan's extraordinary height was caused by a rare condition in which the pituitary gland triggered excessive growth beyond typical human limits. Living in a world built for average proportions brought daily challenges from simple tasks to mobility. Yet instead of treating his difference as a burden, he embraced it with calm acceptance. Sultan turned his towering stature into a symbol of resilience, showing that true strength is not measured in inches or records, but in the grace with which one faces life's challenges. Sultan used global attention not for fame alone, but to connect people across cultures and share messages of unity. His unusual height became a platform for promoting empathy and mutual respect. He understood that standing out physically was simply a chance to better understand others. Sultan's life teaches that true greatness is not about how high you rise, but how humbly you treat those around you. Real strength is complete only when it is guided by kindness, turning difference into a bridge for friendship and understanding. Each story we've shared is proof that while hardship may test the body, it can never confine a determined spirit. These individuals do more than survive. They inspire hope through resilience, compassion, and courage. If this message moved you, please like and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next inspiring story. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.